Today's video, we are reacting to the disturbing world of Looksmaxxing.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it's crazy how the Looksmaxxing shit has all made a very big prominent turn in the past year or so. I remember back in the day, Looksmaxxing was just purely just getting a haircut, making sure you got a good hair shape, washing your ass, using deodorant, you know, doing all these basic things. Now we got niggas like Clavicular talking about smashing your jaw and taking substances and all a bunch of just crazy ass shit. And even on my TikTok pages now, bro, they be filled with fucking Marlon edits talking about some fucking PTN and else. Nigga, what the fuck? Nigga, what? Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's when I knew it was too far in for, bro. I couldn't engage with this type of content, you know. But yeah, with that being said, let's go to get into this video. Let's check it out.
What would you rate Michael B. Jordan? 4 out of 10, maybe 3.5.
Y'all remember when once upon a time Michael B. Jordan was like considered like no homo, but the sexiest man on earth? That nigga put brown skin niggas on a map for a cool little minute. When that fucking Black Panther, when Creed came out, well, which one y'all think had better numbers for Mike B? Creed dropping or Black Panther? I think he did more numbers with Creed.
5. Super facially challenged.
Ryan Gosling is a
This nigga says facially challenged.
5.75 out of 10 facially.
I would say Sydney Sweeney is very attractive.
I would say that she's pretty malformed.
Spend a few minutes online and it's very easy to feel ugly. And in response to that, a whole movement has grown around trying to fix it. It's called Looksmaxxing. For most guys, this involves grooming better, getting in shape, and ultimately feeling more confident. But we're seeing this being taken to increasingly extreme.
Like, come on, bro. Like, at that point. And the thing is, the niggas that are doing this shit, most of the time, just haven't done the bare minimum. They haven't gotten in shape. You know what I'm saying? They haven't fixed their, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing the 10%, but forgetting the whole other 90% that comes before it. Like, bro, this nigga really just punched himself. Bro, it's never that serious, bro. Cause like, yeah, online is one thing, looking good or whatever. But like, bro, on your average day to day, bro, 90% of the people you're gonna walk by, bro, like, you're gonna look better than without having to do this shit. So like, to be sitting here getting punched in the face, bro, that shit is absurd.
Lengths.
I use crystal for hollow cheeks.
And I would say the trend is quite positive.
I've been experimenting on and off with bone smashing to see if I can improve my facial structure.
Well, that was the exact plot.
And another thing too, is like these niggas already know homo will be looking, they be decent looking dudes. To where like, bro, like you don't really need to improve. Like you should already be having your way as is, bro. I feel like a lot of these niggas, bro, they should start doing it, and they just take this shit just way too far to a very unhealthy point.
The SpongeBob episode with handsome Squidward. A lot of this isn't satire. Online, people are now analysing faces like stock charts, calling movie stars average, while kids are asking if they look subhuman. Some older members even begged them to leave.
Bro, I was watching a loyalty test the other day, bro. And this dude, I ain't like, he was a pretty ugly dude or whatever, right? Like the friends of the person getting tested, he had came out and the girl immediately said, "Nigga, you look like you snuck on Earth." That one would have fucked me up, bro. I can't even lie. That one would have fucked me up crazy.
Before it's too late. So what's going on? Why are men now breaking their own bones, injecting black market drugs and gambling their health, all in the hopes of looking more like terror chads?
What do you think?
What you just
It's crazy. I feel like I remember the whole. I feel like what another thing that started with the Looksman is the light skin Jaden with the pretty eyes and all this shit. Now in every races, these niggas are quote unquote maxing out their looks and potential and stuff. It's very interesting.
watched was a competitive mog-off, where these guys are trying to
this is real? This really happened? Oh, I thought this was just like a damn. That's actually crazy, bro. I thought this was like a joke, but like this stream real life happened.
win the most amount of votes for who's the most attractive. If you want to increase your chances of mogging, you could attend Mogwarts, an online school for becoming hot. But it's not just niche communities. An increasing amount of actors, athletes, and even CEOs have completely transformed their appearances. I saw a photo recently of who I thought was Mike O'Hearn. I didn't even recognize it was one of my favourite authors, Matthew Walker, the Sleep Doctor. The male beauty and cosmetic industry has exploded over the last few years. So how did we get here?
To a certain extent, though, I do feel like it's a good thing because, you know what I'm saying, even another video I watched on one of my other channels, we just talked about how a dude literally he had all the money you could have and got his bitch took by a nigga that looked better than him. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of these people are just trying to be more so well-rounded. It's like, yeah, I have the money. Now what's next that I can dominate? You know, clearly I don't look the best. Let me try to, you know what I'm saying, do the normal shit to fix my looks. You know what I'm saying? Again, once you get to the point of where you're doing surgeries and all type of shit, bro, yeah, and you're bone smashing, it's too far.
What makes a man attractive has always been multifaceted. Researchers recognize key traits.
God damn, it's crazy. This is a beauty contest in the early 1900s. If these niggas were alive, or niggas built like this nowadays would be considered subhuman. Like, these are the type of niggas where it'd be like, oh, these niggas snuck on the earth. These look like the type of people that be engaging in them weird activities. What the fuck are these niggas wearing? These niggas got these big ass diapers on. This nigga fucking big. There's no way a woman looked at this shit and was like, oh, my coochie just dripped a tear. Oh, he's like, no.
Like physical cues, status, and personality. Looks have always mattered, but they were only one piece of the puzzle, but they've become increasingly emphasized with the
because a lot of these people are over. That's why I said, no, I heard nobody explain it like this, bro. I like to think of people as in 2K builds, right? You know what I'm saying? Some people are pure sharps, meaning they only have one good thing. Like, they have a lot of money, but they're horrible in every other aspect, or they look really good, but they're broke as fuck. Like, you know what I mean? And like, the goal at the end of the day is try to be as close to LeBron as you can, where you're a good shooter, you're a good rebounder, you're a good defender, you're a good passer. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, looks are a piece of the puzzle, but I feel like with a lot of the people that we're seeing, looks can open up a lot of doors for you, bro. From the nigga, the light skinned nigga who his mugshot went viral, he got a modeling contract off of, like, to just acting. Like, looking better it's not gonna hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Being ugly can hurt you, but looking better, especially as a man, I would like to argue that it's in your best interest to max out everything that you can within a reasonable
creation of social media. Just look at this graph for how couples are meeting. In-person connections have fallen, while online dating has exploded. Now, you can meet people from anywhere in the world. It's a much bigger pond, and for many, it feels more competitive. And as real-world social spaces have declined massively, many men started turning to the internet for answers. That's where three worldviews took shape. Blue pill, what most people fall under. Dating is about personality, kindness, and connection. Be yourself and things will work out. Red pillars see this as remaining in a comforting illusion, because they believe that dating is really about status, confidence, and dominance. If you level up, you can win. This is seeing the true rules of attraction. But then there's a black pill. Your genetics and looks decide everything. If you're unattractive, it's already over. A brutally fatalistic idea. As a skinny teenager, that idea felt bleak. I already felt unsure about myself. Everywhere I looked, I would see more and more fitness transformations where someone would completely transform. So I saw getting shredded as a solution to all my problems. I couldn't see it yet, but this was the beginning of a pretty unhealthy chapter, as a new ideology was quietly growing.
Male glow-ups have reached new levels with the rise of something called Looksmaxxing. It's a TikTok trend taking hold of men seeking to maximize their physical appearance.
But it didn't start on TikTok. It originated in anonymous forums, filled with men who believed they were genetically doomed in dating.
I think that every woman who encounters me on the street is inherently disgusted by me. I'm physically unattractive, I'm visibly autistic, and I have no experience speaking to females.
Many had felt ignored and assumed it was their looks that were responsible. So they started to wonder, how could they optimize them? In its earliest form, Looksmaxxing was extreme. Surgeries, drugs, anything that promised escape from being labelled genetically inferior. And what kept people locked into it was an uncomfortable truth. Looks really do matter, and studies back that up.
Hamermesh et al. Found that attractive individuals tend to earn 3 to 4% more than their less attractive counterparts,
while 58% of Fortune 500 CEOs are over 6 foot, even though only around 15% of the US male population reach that height.
While Ruffle and colleagues have shown that unattractive criminals go to jail for twice as long as attractive criminals.
Now, correlation does not mean causation.
But going to jail as an attractive nigga, bro, that's literally a death sentence. Like every day you're in a constant welfare fight over your booty cheeks. Like holy fuck, if there's one place you want to be subhuman ugly, it would have to be prison. Because at least then you don't gotta worry about nobody trying to violently take your butt. You know, on the bright side.
But pretty privilege does seem to exist. Psychologists call this the halo effect, the tendency to assume that good-looking people are more competent, more trustworthy, and more valuable. So the forums tried to turn attraction into something objective. They built systems, facial ratios, skull measurements, and eye-shaped theories, all designed to create a mechanical hierarchy of beauty. The most famous was a PSL scale, a ranking from 1 to 8.
Goes from subhuman, sub 5, Chad.
The goal of Looksmaxxing is simple: ascension. Move up the ladder, and to do that, there's 2 paths. Soft maxing, which is the more mild stuff you see on TikTok. Skin maxing.
Oh wait, hold up. I'm gonna read this list.
Soft maxing, which is the more mild.
Daily face wash or wash using sunscreen, whitening teeth, regular haircuts, beard grooming, nose hair clean trim nails, decorative and finding hairstyle. You see, this is I'm saying. I feel like derma rolling, micro needling at home. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I look at my beard, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty well connected. You know, this and that, whatever. I used when I was 18 years old. I used minoxidil. I used to watch Austin Dunham videos about how to get your beard thicker. Because at the time, having a beard was like, quote unquote, the meta, or whatever. So I'm like, damn, I want to get a beard, and so I got a beard, and then just for it to be like, there, we go tease. But now I use minoxidil. I want to say for like 6 months, something like that. Now you see, I don't have any real patches. I could use a lineup, sure, but my beard's decently full for me being old. I'm 23 now, so I guess you could say I'm a little kind of old. But now I can swap back and forth. If I want to go goatee today, by tomorrow I can go right back beard. You know, it's a good little switcheroo. Yeah. And I feel like the biggest thing on this list is the whole getting your body in shape, right? I feel like having a nice body is about 75% of Looksmaxxing. Because with losing weight, you're going to lose fat everywhere, including your face. So then your face is going to be a lot better. And then at that point, if you want to get into the whole dyeing your eyebrows, teeth shit, all that type of shit, that's going to be the last 25 to 30% that's going to like, all right, bet. You can't really get much better than what you're at right now. Once you get your body right.
Stuff you see on TikTok. Skin maxing, hair maxing, gym maxing. But then there's hard maxing. Permanent, often high-risk changes to the body. This includes jaw surgeries, performance-enhancing drugs, but also more extreme stuff, such as the brutally painful leg-lengthening surgery.
At around $100,000 for the surgery.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest though, if you're like a 5 foot as a man, like you really don't have that options. Like, either get the lifting surgery or just become a woman. Just become a big booty Latina, bro. You know, because you're really much clipped. I'm saying you spawn into the world with such a horrible player build. Your parents screwed you over so bad. Like, you're just gonna have to just respawn or do one of the other 2 options.
With months of rehabilitation afterwards, this is not something to take lightly.
Some forms of hard maxing have become normalized, like braces or hair transplants. But because many of these procedures are expensive or age limited, some teenagers turn to extreme DIY alternatives. But before we dive into the darker side of a trend and its wider effects, a quick word from today's sponsor, Legend London. They make minimalist clothing designed to fit you better if you're more athletic. Often, well-fitting clothing looks a lot better than loud branding. They design everything and edit max this video. Glow up transformations were my first window into this world. There's these apps which you can scan your face with and generate these Looksmaxxing top trumps, with the goal of leveling up your stats. The most highest rated on the PSL scale are referred to as the PSL gods. Anonymous forums are typically edgy in nature. Not everything is to be taken seriously. There's a mix of trolling and genuine degeneracy, which is why news sites struggle to understand it. But beneath the memes are guys seeking advice. A lot of it boils down to losing body fat, skincare, and personal hygiene. But you'll also find guides on how to maximize your testicle volume, how to lose a pound of fat a day with miracle drugs, and more obsessive posts, such as this kid who shared his photos, along with every single measurement from his body, only to be told by over 100 people that he is truly subhuman.
No. This has got to be like the worst generation to do something like this in too, bro. Cause like niggas on the internet, bro, they don't give a fuck about anything. The internet, I feel like if you want a genuine, honest answer on something, bro, put yourself on the internet, bro. And people are gonna give you their raw, unbiased opinion. You know what I mean? Because there's no like, oh, I care about this person, I don't want to hurt their feelings. No, if you're ugly, trust me, the internet is gonna let you know it's your fucking ugly, bro.
With the top comment being, I think you should take a break from this forum, bro. People can get quite obsessive, such as this guy who made a whole post about how he'd look kissing a girl. The top response, why do you do this to yourself? But there's something sad about some of these posts. A young guy will post their photo along with a self-loathing caption. Is it even possible for a human to look more subhuman than me? And it's met with questionable advice. Inject tea and human growth hormone ASAP, not even trolling. Rope you are to subhuman. Yes, sorry, very subhuman, look like vermin.
So the overwhelming majority of people said, well, basically that I'm unsavable, and the only recommendation for me is surgery.
I started posting in the bodybuilding forum as a 14-year-old looking for advice. A lot of it was decent, but you'd also get people taking the piss. But I stuck around because I wanted to do what it takes, whether that's wearing joggers under my school trousers to look less skinny, or putting weights in my school bag. I even asked for fat calipers for Christmas when I was looking like this. Shame or feeling insecure can be a very powerful motivator for change, but for many, it becomes an unhealthy obsession, as indicated by this post, where a 14-year-old asked people to rate.
He's 14 years old. Nah, but I ain't gonna lie, we've all been there. I remember back when I was around that age, I had like my hormones was going crazy, and I was having really bad acne. So I was taking this like eczema or whatever the fuck. I was taking something to like fix my acne, bro. But a lot of this shit, bro, as you get older, bro, you kind of just grow into your appearance, and then you're not as quote unquote chopped. You know what I'm saying? Some people might consider me chopped. Some people might consider me handsome. All I know is that when I go in now online, I ain't gonna lie, my shit is not really the best. I'm gonna just be real with y'all. I don't have the best. I don't have like how I would like to. But in real life, bro, you throw me in any city in America, not in like a major expensive club, bro. You could throw me anywhere, in my opinion, you throw me anywhere with anybody, and if money and status was not involved at all, I could compete in any club in America, and I genuinely feel that way. I'm not saying that I'm gonna get the baddest woman there, but you throw me in any city in America, and I go to the club Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights for a month straight, I won't have to approach a single person, and I guarantee you I'll get at least one body, and she'll be decent looking. And I mean, majority of the girls that I've talked to in my life, bro, I never had to go approach. Like, they all came up to me, they all let me know they were interested in me. Because at the end of the day, it's not really about being the best looking person in the world, it's just about being the best looking person in the building. Like, yes, Chris Brown might be her celebrity crush, but Chris Brown's not in this fucking club, and she's like, okay, cool, I want to get my rocks off on somebody. Somebody gotta come, beat it up. And I'm attractive enough to where like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get with this guy. You know?
Hate him. Get off the forum, go outside, and make friends now. For most people, it stops there, but for some,
you can always be thinner, look better.
That's how figures like clavicular rise.
If you could go back in time, would you still take test at 14 years old?
Absolutely, yeah. $35,000 for a double jaw surgery. I use crystal for hollow cheeks. I'm not a huge longevity guy.
He became famous inside the Looksmaxxing spaces for taking things further than anyone else. He posted about watching surgery videos so he could operate on himself, drug use, and about how you could use student loans to pay for plastic surgery, until he was reported to the university.
I was kicked out of uni for essentially roid maxing.
But by then, he was already a popular influencer. Most people are watching for the entertainment or shock value.
I literally witnessed Clav snort meth. Literally. Witnessed it.
While others see him as proof that if you're willing to sacrifice everything, you could ascend. The media often presents the darker side like it's new, but we've seen something very similar before.
And now,
the media often presents the darker side like it's new, but we've seen something very similar before.
And now, Stacy, take off the bag. Here we go, and let's see the face.
Is that a speed bump on the way?
Stacy, it's got to be tough when the crowd starts freaking out.
This was classic 2000s television, where humiliation was entertainment, and where modern beauty culture went mainstream. Because today, the global beauty industry is worth over $600 billion. Back in the early 1900s, advertising was simple. You sold the product, the price, and the quantity. But for America, to enter its golden age of capitalism, something had to change. You see, you could only sell so many bars of soap. That's when companies started hiring psychologists to try and drive more sales, such as Edward Bernays, the father of modern PR, and the nephew of Sigmund Freud. He believed people were irrational, insecure, impulsive, and emotional. And if you could tap into that, you could get them to buy anything. So he reframed products as symbols. He took cigarettes, which were taboo for women at the time, and branded them as torches of freedom. He linked smoking to female liberation, and cigarette sales soared. This is where marketers started really focusing on pressing on pain points, with classics like, "If men hate the sight of you, read this. Romance dies of a touch of dishpan hands. This is no shape for a girl." It's far more profitable to market inferiority. I'm not a communist or anti-business, but there's definitely a line that gets crossed. When tabloids fat-shame Britney Spears for clicks, when heroin chic was sold as a beauty ideal, out of that came eating disorder communities, risky cosmetic procedures, and generations of women who hated their reflection. For decades, this machine was aimed almost entirely at women, but now it's being pointed at men. We have drugs being used as glow-up tools. Instead of airbrushed magazine covers, you get fabricated AI glow-ups, which thousands of people are falling for, along with rebranded—
Nah, nigga, that was insane, nigga. Wait, no, go back. That, nigga, what?
at women. But now—
Hold up, we gotta put that in slow-mo.
now it's being pointed at men. We have drugs being used as glow-up tools. Instead of airbrushed magazine covers, you get fabricated AI glow-ups, which thousands of people are falling.
That's diabolical. Holy fuck. That's insane. That's insane. That's scary. Boy, we get a women case about makeup,
Thousands of people are falling.
but holy fuck. That's insane.
For, along with rebranded eating disorders and forms of body dysmorphia. This is where it started going wrong for me. I was copying fitness influencers' disordered eating tips, spending most of my money on useless fat burners, and I picked up health issues from nutrient deficiencies. Despite looking better, I felt worse. When you turn self-worth into a product, someone always pays the price. The people staring at the screen, wondering what's wrong with them.
This guy has now had 10
That's why certain kids shouldn't get access to technology until they're older, until their brain is a little bit more developed. Because now we got these kids talking about getting surgeries, kids wanting to switch their genders. Like, it's just a whole... I can only imagine when I'm ready to have kids, what it'll be like growing up. Because it'll be completely different than when I came up.
surgeries in a year, and he says he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, including the latest procedure just a few weeks ago where his eyes were turned outwards again.
Not even the people paying tens of thousands for the best surgeries are guaranteed to have no complications. Take leg lengthening surgery. It costs over $100,000 and involves breaking both femurs and slowly pulling them apart over months. If it works, you gain a few inches of height, but you also lose athleticism, and in worst case scenarios, it can lead to amputation. Now, these are extreme, but the tools behind them are now being repackaged and marketed to far younger people. Teenagers who'd be turned away by doctors are turning to Telegram chats, forums, and grey market labs to chase the same changes.
After 6 weeks, I had liver failure.
How the fucking liver failure? How?
It was hard because every night, every single hour, my parents came in my room to check if I was dead, basically.
Yet, these are often glorified and promoted to teenagers.
Looksmaxxing communities are almost competing with each other to try and come up with the most extreme remedies possible for improving your looks.
But by far the most harmful consequences for most people are the psychological ones. I fell into the trap of obsessing over flaws and being hypercritical, because focusing on what I wasn't good at helped me improve in sports and at school. But that mindset started bleeding into everything. I became hard on myself full stop, to the point where when someone would compliment me, I'd assume that they were mocking me. I stopped socializing as much, and I'd feel guilty about when I ever felt okay about myself. What keeps you stuck in this is how comforting that harshness can feel, because somewhere along the way, you start believing that suffering equals progress. But live like that long enough, and you stop believing progress is even possible. Psychologists call it learned helplessness, when repeated failure convinces you nothing you ever do will be good enough, so you stop trying. A lot of these people convince themselves that they're bottlenecked by their 7 out of 10 looks, not the fact their other attributes are at a 2 out of 10, or they've consumed so much pseudo-scientific slop that their self-esteem is non-existent.
You know, you went on this when you were like a 17-year-old. That's how you first found out about Looksmaxxing and started using these forums. You're now 20.
20, yep.
Are you happier now after all this?
No, wasted so much time, and the perception of myself right now is worse than ever.
Typically, a lot of these niggas I notice, they have no friends, they don't hang out, they don't talk to women in real life. I know some people in my personal life who are some ugly ass niggas. I'm friends with some niggas who are ugly as shit that some of y'all will call subhuman, that still get played consistently. Now, you might have to put more work than, say, me or somebody else, but nonetheless, these niggas are still like getting played. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like in their minds, these dudes will talk to one girl, and like one girl tell them no, and they're just thinking they're just cooked, and then they're gonna carry that mindset on and on. Versus my homie, when he shoots, he's drunk. He's just putting them up. He's just putting the shots up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could care less if one says no, because if one says no, there's another one right over there in the corner he can go talk to her. And he, like I said, this nigga is ugly as hell. I feel like if more men went to clubs, which people shit on club culture, but if you go to clubs with your friends, right, and you just shoot at girls, bro, get drunk, bro, like, you realize, holy fuck, I don't need to do all this looksmaxxing shit. I can just get girls by just talking to them and being a fucking normal person at the end of the day.
We see this with celebrities who keep altering their appearance, even when they already look great. But this pattern isn't new. The ancient Greeks actually had a cautionary tale that captures the darker side of this obsession perfectly. In Greek mythology, Narcissus was a young man who once caught his reflection in a still pool of water. Mesmerized, he kept staring, mistaking it for someone else. He became obsessed, stopped eating, and stopped sleeping, eventually wasting away beside the image he could never touch. A narcissus flower grew in his place, which is where the word narcissism comes from.
Did you ever think that maybe there's more to life than being really, really, really ridiculously good looking?
Harvard psychiatrist Dr. Harrison Pope has spent decades studying what he calls the Adonis complex, a condition where men become obsessed with their appearance and believe they're never muscular or attractive enough, even when they already look great. From the outside, it looks like narcissism, but Pope's research shows it's often the opposite. Body dysmorphia for men, driven by unrealistic standards and constant comparisons. But what helped pull me out of my own spiral with fitness wasn't affirmations or self-belief slogans. It was a book from the 1960s that was way ahead of its time. In the 1960s, a plastic surgeon named Maxwell Maltz noticed something strange. Some patients completely changed their faces and still felt ugly. Others barely changed at all and suddenly became more confident and more social. The surgery alone wasn't what changed their lives. It was how they saw themselves. If someone believed they were broken, no new face could fix it. Self-image isn't just how you see yourself, it's how you think the world sees you. As one sociologist put it, you're not who you think you are, you're not who others think you are, you're who you think others think you are. That's the paradox. Improving how you look can improve how you feel, but only when it's not rooted in hate. This is what I wish I realized sooner, back when I was struggling with disordered eating and exercise habits. I don't know if I'd have listened to this, but I should have focused on things more holistically. In other words, focusing on trying to be good rather than just looking good. I'm a big proponent for self-improvement, but a bit of self-acceptance isn't being complacent. Without it, you're wide open to the worst parts of the fitness and beauty industry. Improve how you look if you want to, just don't let an algorithm decide what you're worth.
Alright. So that's a great video. Shout out that man, who made this? Shout out that boy Josh, man. W video, man, you know. And yeah, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Let me know y'all thoughts on this in the comment section below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Every single sub is greatly appreciated. And until next time. Peace.